Men go men. Watch this right quick. Much more women knew that not seeing the life that we thought we would have come to fruition is actually grief. Tracee Ellis Ross just named that particular type of grief. She said that she often finds herself mourning not being partnered and not having children. That type of grief hits very differently, right? You're not missing.
Yeah, let's get into it, man.
Grieving someone who was never even born. And I find it so fascinating because being single in this society is such a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, it is glamorized. It's soft life, me era, solo travel vibes, all the things. And then on the other hand, it's stigmatized, quietly judged, like there has to be something wrong with you, which we know that that's not the case, right? But the craziest part is that for this type of grief, there is no ritual. There is no funeral or memorial service like when we lose somebody in the physical realm. There is no divorce party when you finally leave that man. No outpouring of love and gifts and support when you miscarry a child. There is no closure. Even as a friend, I've had to check myself, right? Because my instinct is to fix it, to throw a solution at it, to cheerlead, to play matchmaker, and make sure that they know that they are so much more than being someone's wife, being someone's mother. But real support is just sitting in it, sitting in the discomfort. It's to say, I see you. Not necessarily, oh girl, be patient, he's coming when the time is right, because that's not necessarily the case either. Because here's the truth, being partnered does not guarantee you won't be lonely. Shout out to Cecilia Regina and her Lonely Wife series. If you know, you know. So maybe the real life, the real glow up is in learning to grieve what never was, what never might be, and still learning to build a beautiful life anyway.
I myself have been married for over 21 years, or almost 21 years. It'll be 21 years in June, and then we'll be past the 21 years. But I myself have been married for over 2 decades, since I was 22 years old, and I would consider myself to be successfully married. Been through the ups and the downs financially. None of us have any children out of wedlock. Well, I have no problem with women having choices and doing what they want to do, but they don't want to take ownership and accountability for who it is that they are, and they believe that they're grieving because nobody showed up for them. What the fuck are we talking about, bro? What the hell are we talking about? It's like the more choices that we've been given, the more freedom that you have to choose for yourself, the more people are more miserable than ever before.
Okay, now that we've watched the original video, I just want to say that I wasn't even talking about men. It had really little to do with men. So in the original video that I posted on my TikTok, if you're interested in my TikTok, I will link it in the description box below. We have a lot of fun over there. And I was talking about ambiguous grief. I was also talking about singleism as a society, being a single woman, that you can possibly grieve the life that you thought you were going to have because we have been conditioned in this society to think that marriage and being partnered or having X amount of children or having a particular type of home equals happiness. When you realize well into your 20s, 30s, 40s and beyond that that is not going to come to fruition, you oftentimes will feel sad. And that is actually grief. That was my intent. My intent was to create a safe space for women to give a name to what they were experiencing. Tracee Ellis Ross actually started the conversation. And because I am a therapist in training and I attend conferences and read and all the things, I had become fascinated with the idea of ambiguous grief. It's a very specific type of grief that comes from mourning something that never came to fruition. Okay, we're clear on that, right? That part is set. It is the kind of grief that you carry quietly, right? The kind that people don't always see. That's what I was speaking to. I wasn't talking just about men. I wasn't just talking about dating. I wasn't just talking about relationships. But as men typically do, they will insert themselves unnecessarily in women's business. And I'm sorry to say that, but he completely took the intention and actually the purpose of the video and twisted the narrative to cater to likely his red pill following that ate it up and turned it into this thing about women need to choose. They have options. They chose this life. They don't want a traditional scenario. And I didn't want to get into it, but now that we're here, the problem is that a lot of men lack emotional depth. They lack emotional intelligence. They don't carry the empathy, the understanding that is required to have a very successful relationship with a woman. So women are choosing to not be with men just for the sake of having a man. That's the whole point. My point is that there are women out here that would still want to be partnered. In as much as I teach women on my channel, on my TikTok, on my Instagram, that the first sign of mistreatment, you are to go. In as much as I teach women that, I'm also saying and recognizing that on the other side of that, there are women that deeply still long to be partnered. And I recognize that and I empathize with that, understandably so. But this young man or old man, whatever you want to call it, came on Beyonce's internet and tried to drag me and all of his following talking about, oh, you know, it's a term for that. This is called regret. I'm in a happy marriage. I know what it looks like. And you know what my happy husband is not doing? He's not getting on the internet with X amount of thousands of subscribers, posting a woman's face on his video only to tear her and other women down. That's what he's not doing. He's somewhere building something, okay? He's somewhere taking care of business. He's somewhere making sure that I'm taken care of. And when I showed him this video, he was irate. Why? Because he said, yo, he completely lost the point. Exactly my point. I am creating a safe space for women to be able to emote, to put a name to their feeling, to put a name to their experiences. That's what I'm doing. I'm not out here trying to bash people. I recognize that there are a lot of men that do not have the wherewithal to communicate themselves intellectually, articulately, and emotionally at the same time. You missed the mark completely. And I recognize that you're doing it because you have a following, because you have people that you need to cater to, because you need to drum up this energy. And typically, I don't allow people to siphon my energy. I really don't. It's not what I do. But this particular instance required me to say something. And like I said, happily married men are not doing this. Truly, he kept saying in his video, you know, I'm happily married, you know, 20 plus years, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sick of people trying to throw this, I've been married X amount of years, so I know what I'm talking about and it's successful. I just find it very difficult to believe that you are in a truly happy marriage when you spew this kind of communication to women. There's no way that you could be treating your woman with love, kind, care, and respect, and on the same breath, you get on the internet and speak to a woman in the tone that you did, that you spoke to me disrespectfully. You cursed at me. What the F are we talking about? Get the F out of here. Constantly, over and over and over again, completely failing to even try to miss the point on purpose, it seems. Or maybe that's just how you operate. I don't know. And again, happily married men don't act like that. Mine doesn't. He's kind. He's gentle. He doesn't feel threatened when women are trying to communicate complex emotions. He doesn't try to silence them. So when I see a man responding like this, I don't hear confidence. It's a lot of words and a lot of fluff. I hear projection. I hear insecurity. And you know what else I hear? I hear grief too, interestingly enough. But it's the kind that hasn't been named, that hasn't been processed, that hasn't been healed. My conversation was always about the silent ache of people that looked to have a particular type of life that was never fulfilled. That was always the premise. That deserves space. That deserves tender love, care, and gentleness. Not this. Not what he tried to put on his YouTube channel with my face plastered. I am still appalled. But that's not what this was about. That is not how I represent. Just to clarify. So to my YouTube family, if you have ever felt this particular type of grief, I'd love to hear what you thought about my original video. I love being able to give a space to women, to allow them to feel heard, to feel felt and feel seen. That is my complete intention with this channel. Among other things, I love doing vlogs and all the other stuff too, but that is my purpose. On this here earth, that is what I am here to do. I'm here to educate and I'm here to support. That is what I'm here to do. If you have felt similarly, I'd love to hear your commentary below. If you saw his video or if you went to go see it, I'd love for you to let me know what you thought about it. And men go men. That's really all I got about it, is that they go men. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I'd love to see you share this with your friends and family too. Until next time.